Hey, good morning. I'm John Bowie, President and Founder of SCI Global Services, and welcome to this week's Clever Insights segment, where we talk about B2B online marketing. Today, we have a really interesting topic. We're talking about dynamic website content personalization. So, this is a topic that was extremely creepy to many of you in the last year, 2 years that we were talking about it, because we were talking about dynamically targeting ads. Not 1 to 2 years ago, maybe 3 to 4 years ago when we started doing this for many of our clients. We were talking to them about taking your product catalog on your website and then creating ad templates that had all that different content being fed into it. So the creative was very one-to-one marketing communications, and then creating a ad. If you looked at that, that blue shirt on Amazon and saw that same blue shirt on the advertisement following you on Google Display Network, those type of things we had initially a lot of pushback against, but they turned out to have a very high conversion rate for our customers, and all of you eventually got over that creepiness factor because you were happy with the sales. So now we're going to talk about personalizing your website to speak to a specific audience, more of a one-to-one communication channel with them coming to your site. We're going to look at 3 things though: the who, what, and where. So who to target, what message you want to tell them, and then where on your website you want to place that messaging. But before we get to that, let's go to why. Why is this important? Because there's a lot of sales leads left on the table for you. And we know every week when we're speaking with you, it's your number one priority, right? We just want more leads, more leads, more leads. And that's why the last 3-4 weeks webinars that we've been doing for you have focused on lead generation. And I really think that today's topic that we're covering is going to be something that all of you should integrate into your campaigns for 2017, because right now, on average, you have a 50 to 70% bounce rate. So that's potential customers coming to your website and leaving without taking the desired action you want them to. Only a 1 to 3% conversion rate. So you can imagine, out of that 10, 20, 30,000 people you have coming to your website, generating 100 to 300 leads as opposed to the volume that could be coming in. And then cart abandonment, people adding products to their cart, not checking out. Personalization and customization of your website content dynamically can help solve lots of these problems. Let's first look at who. So who is it that's coming to your website? The very easiest thing that we can do is look at a user's location of where they're coming to your website from, their geographical location. What are some things that you could do with that? Well, if I'm in my office in Toronto and ordering something for that location, and I see this banner ad pop up on a website, I'm definitely going to have a higher conversion rate, going to make my purchase or make my inquiry to this company versus distributor B, who does not have an indicator that they ship to Canada or a link to their Canadian shipping return policy, whatever it may be. So this is a great example of localization done very easily. What we don't want you to do is something like this. You'll notice many sites that you go to hit you with this big page. USA is way down on that list, in the list of Americas. Very difficult for someone to get into your website because you don't need to ask them this information. You can tell where someone's coming from by easily looking at the IP address and a database to reference that, and then customize the site appearance based on it. Here's a great example. This is one of our clients. They manufacture and sell these reagents and standards worldwide. If you come to the website from the US, you get their normal e-commerce experience. US price, add to cart, local contact information. You visit the site from London, anywhere in the UK, and now you see the price listed in pounds. You see a London telephone number, +44 number in the top right-hand corner of the site. So the site has been localized to the audience inside the UK, and much higher conversion has come from it. Here's another example of a manufacturer who is they happen to be in Denmark, and their lead form on their site, even though there's nothing visible to you as a viewer when you look at it that they're targeting your location, but when you submit that lead form, instead of it's sitting there and waiting for 12 hours if you're on US time, and then you submit a lead to them, they wait 12 hours before they see it in their inbox. and they forward it off to one of their distributors. Now they know your location, so they'll automatically submit that lead to their correct distributor who's in the customer's time zone, so that it cuts down drastically on the, instead of taking 36 hours for a sales rep at a distributor to respond to that lead that someone submitted through the website, now they're responding to it in near real time and not risking them going to the competitor in that 36 hours and already getting down a sales cycle with them. Here's a really great example. LabFriend, an Australian lab equipment distributor, beautiful website. This is their default view. They're an Australian company, they have a .com.au. But if you visit that site from Malaysia, you're dynamically redirected based on your browser's IP location to the Malaysian website. So you can see lots of nice things here. Big hero image, LabFriend now in Malaysia with a picture of the Petronas Towers, just really beautiful, iconic Malaysian landscape. And even smaller things that you notice in the logo, for example, it has the sun and moon from the Malaysian flag, and as well a tagline below that specific to that country. Even the live chat pop-up was saying that it's a Malaysian support agent that's going to help you. So quite a difference from their main Australian website. And guess what? When you visit that site from Singapore, you also see that localization of Singapore, even again that I in the logo being changed, very, very smart, and a nice big hero image welcoming you. And then just, they even changed the visuals of it. So on this hero image, you can see there's actually Malaysian lab techs doing work right on their hero image. So very, very nice localization, and you dynamically get there by sending the user to the right place based on their location of their IP address. So this is all kind of basic. We've been doing it for customers for like 7 years. It was actually one of the first initiatives that I did when I had my very first job in digital marketing 16 years ago, half of my life ago. But now we're gonna get like super creepy. We're actually not just gonna talk about who is coming there in terms of their geography, but like really who is coming to the website, what company is coming to the website, so that we can do something like this. This is not the perfect banner ad. These are all dynamically generated, but I wanted to show you not a perfect one, because they're never really gonna be perfect when you're talking about dynamic creative. So this is the really impressive thing though, is that when you visit that website and you're from a IP address within the Risk Lab facility, so a services lab located in Australia, and I'm visiting this particular distributor's website, and I get a banner ad popping up with my company's logo on it. Wow, I'm from Risk Lab. There's my name on this random website that I'm not registered for, I'm not signed in on, and they know who I am. And did you know that Risk Lab, my company, already has corporate pricing and discounts? All I need to do is log in. Yeah, of course I'm gonna log in. And then here's the directions, right? Complete the form to the right, access your dedicated account manager, and view your special contract pricing. Whoa, this is really powerful stuff. The conversion rate of traffic that's going to see these customized welcome messages on the website is not going to convert at 1 to 30%, it's going to convert at 10 to 30%. So this is a surefire way to increase your leads coming in through dynamic personalization of the content on your site. Very, very powerful example. And so there's actually three things being layered on here, is that we're using a logo API. So once we pull back the company name, visitor comes to the website, the IP is logged, the IP is sent through an API to a third-party service that's going to return the company name, in this case Risk Lab, and then it's also using a third-party API to pull back a logo for a company name, and then dynamically layering it based on the location of the background of the banner of the Australia Sydney skyline. So this is really cool, very specific, very personalized, and very influential on the amount of leads being generated through your website. So how do we get to who? So we access a database that offers these firmographics through an API. And here is a Google Analytics dashboard. I've blurred out any identifying information here, but this takes a look at the last week, so the 9th to the 16th. And you can see Google Analytics, as you know, never tells you company names unless you're using a third-party API like this. So integrated into analytics, now I can see, University of Kentucky, MIT there in the 7th spot came to this website. Of course, from here I could click in and see any other Google Analytics dashboards you want, like what pages they visited from MIT. And then of course your sales team can take action on this and call these formerly anonymous visitors and turn them into sales leads if they're not responding to those pop-up messages, the customization of the front end of the website. So really two valuable uses of this database. So aside from identifying who, in terms of what company they are, we can also pull back the industry that they belong to. So here's a screenshot from that same company's analytics report that shows the industries coming to their site. So what information are you going to, what message are you going to modify based on this information of the who? So maybe you're showing them different logos of your customers. So if you're coming from a pharmaceutical company, and the website knows I'm coming from a pharmaceutical company, then it should show me logos of other pharmaceutical companies you do business with, not other materials manufacturing companies or large universities. I want stuff that's specific to me. That's going to help drive my conversion rate if the trust seals that I see you're presenting are from within my industry. What else can you customize based on that industry data? Testimonials. So again, show the testimonials from other pharma companies, not from people outside of the industry, so you'll boost conversion. Where can you change this? There are two really easy spots are on the homepage hero image. So most websites have this kind of large graphic advertising their promotions, specials, new product releases, called a hero image. So that can be easily swapped out if the website has identified that anonymous visitor as a named company using a third-party database. One of the questions we had when we spoke to customers about this was, what if the API does not return a name? What happens? Is it a blank space? No, it has default imagery that it shows there if it's not a named account in the lookup. The other easier way to do it is a pop-up. So we call it real-time dynamic content personalization, but it's actually near real-time. So there is a second and a half delay by the time the website shows the customized message. So a pop-up is a great way to do that. How do you measure the results of everything that's going on the site and your customization efforts? Again, using Google Analytics, using that data that was brought in via the API, you can segment an industry. So in this case being education, and you can see their engagement metrics with the site increase. So here's overall traffic. Keep in mind, these customization efforts do not impact your SEO. You're not going to see an increased amount of traffic coming from the educational market if you have dynamic content personalization, because Google's not indexing this. If you set up a specific landing page for the education market and then you dynamically direct traffic to that landing page from that market, then you have both working. You have the personalization to the user happening in real time, and you have the static landing page for Google. So that's when you would see an increase in traffic. In this example, though, you would see an increase in the leads that come in, the sales leads, the goal conversions, the e-commerce checkouts. So use that advanced segment to take a look at that traffic patterns of the users coming in from that market and see if your personalization effects had a direct result on sales leads and sales coming through the site. So we have to take everything that we just talked about and really layer it in a set of context. So is the user logged in or not? Are they on their mobile or desktop? Are they a first-time visitor? How long have they been on the site in this specific visit? So all of these things we should take into consideration when determining how to layer on all of these targeting site personalization techniques. And again, why do you want to do all this? Because you want to overcome these stats. You want to increase your conversion rate primarily from 1% to 3% to a much higher figure. You want to lower your cart abandonment rate, lower your bounce rate. All of these things can be accomplished by getting personal, by going dynamic on your website with dynamic content personalization, and we'd love to help you out to do that on your website for 2017. So definitely contact us at the information below and we'll get in touch.